Nithyanandam everyone, welcome to Kailasa this week for February 2023. The Maha Paramashivoham, offerings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Global Summit to mold future enlightened Hindu leaders continues as Maha Paramashivoham, February 9th to March 1st, 2023. Maha Paramashivoham is the 21-day Global Summit aimed at molding the next generation of enlightened Hindu leaders. This pure enlightenment program is designed and delivered by the avatar and living incarnation of Paramashiva himself, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavad Nithyananda Paramashivam. The program leads the future leaders of Hinduism through spiritual and cognitive shifts, manifestation of extraordinary powers, and feeling connection of oneness, Advaita, with the ultimate cosmic superconscious, the Supreme Divine Paramashiva. It is enlightenment delivered to your screen. Visit paramashivoham.org to join today.
Swamiji initiated us to higher time zones, that is Maha Kailasa. He gave us few mantras and where by chanting those mantras, we could connect to Maha Kailasa anytime. So this was his boon and blessing that we can do it anytime. But during initiation, he himself made us do it so effortlessly that I was lifted to Maha Kailasa, and I could see that I was there literally, and Shiv and Parvati literally were blessing me. Since I hold my family in my inner space, then I saw my whole family was blessed. So it was an amazing experience, and only this could be possible only because of Swamiji. That it happens so effortlessly. Otherwise, it takes the lifetimes to experience.
Earlier this month, the grand celebrations of Maha Paramashivaratri, marking the landing of superconsciousness on the planet Earth and the possibility of each one of us to experience and radiate the same. Let's catch up a bit more with another look at some of the Maha Paramashivaratri celebrations from Kailasa centers across the globe.
அண்ணாமலையே சிவரூபமாய் வீற்றிருக்கும் குரு நித்யானந்தமே நித்யானந்தம் நித்யானந்தம் அண்ணாமலையே சிவரூபமாய் வீற்றிருக்கும் குரு நித்யானந்தமே
வான்வரையிலும் வளர்ந்த ஜோதி ரூபனே தேன் சுவை தரும் தமிழின் தலைவனே மான்மழுவினை ஏந்தி நிற்கும் ஐயனே கைலாசம் தந்த நித்யானந்தனே அகிலம் காப்பாய் திருவடியில் என் அருகில் இருப்பாய் அரை நொடியில் பிறையை சூடிய பெருமானே என் பிழைகள் களைத்து அருள்வாயே கல்லும் கரைக்க சிறு புல்லும் முறைக்க இவையாவும் திளைக்க சிவசூத்திரம் அளிக்கிறாய் வான்வரையிலும் வளர்ந்த ஜோதி ரூபனே தேன் சுவை தரும் தமிழின் தலைவனே மான்மழுவினை ஏந்தி நிற்கும் ஐயனே கைலாசம் தந்த நித்யானந்தனே
நித்யானந்தம் நித்யானந்தம் அண்ணாமலையே சிவரூபமாய் வீற்றிருக்கும் குரு நித்யானந்தமே நித்யானந்தம் நித்யானந்தம் அண்ணாமலையே சிவரூபமாய் வீற்றிருக்கும் குரு நித்யானந்தமே Shiva Shiva Namah Shiva Shri Rudra Tandava Shiva Parashiva Maheshwara Shri Kala Kala Ishvara Shiva Shiva Namah Shiva Shri Rudra Tandava Shiva Parashiva Maheshwara Shri Kala Kala Ishvara
காலம் காசு கைட்டினை வீச மார்கண்டேயனும் உன்னை கட்டி அணைக்கவே விரைந்து வந்தவா உதிரம் கொட்டும் கண்களை மாற்ற வேடம் கண்களை எடுத்து உனக்கு பொறுத்திட மோட்சம் தந்தவா
அண்ட மொத்தம் ஆண்டிடும் அகண்ட ஜோதி ரூபனே அடியாரின் பக்தி ஏற்றிடும் எமையாளும் நித்யானந்தனே. மதியாய் விதியை சிவமாய் மாற்றிட உன் அருளால் எனையும் பதம் சேர்த்திட. அடியாய் முடியாய் மலையாய் நின்றிட உன் அடியார் அவர்க்கும் அடியோனாய் வந்தவா. நம சிவாய சிவ சிவாய நம சிவாய நம சிவாய சிவ சிவாய நம சிவாய.
வரையிலும் வளர்ந்த ஜோதி ரூபனே, தேன் சுவை தரும் தமிழின் தலைவனே, மான் மகிழ்வினை ஏந்தி நிற்கும் ஐயனே, கைலாசம் தந்த நித்யானந்தனே.
அகிலம் காப்பாய் திருவடியில் என் அருகில் இருப்பாய் அரை நொடியில். பிறையை சூடிய பெருமானே என் பிழைகள் கலைத்து அருள்வாயே. கல்லும் கரைக்க சிறு புல்லும் முறைக்க இவையாவும் திளைக்க சிவசூத்திரம் அளிக்கிறாய்.
வரையிலும் வளர்ந்த ஜோதி ரூபனே, தேன் சுவை தரும்.
The United States of Kailasa shines on the global stage, representing at the United Nations Geneva talks on women in leadership. The United States of Kailasa is the first Hindu nation where the 2 billion Hindus unapologetically live and celebrate their enlightened indigenous traditions and lifestyle. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavad Nithyananda Paramashivoham, ordained as the Emperor of 21 ancient indigenous Hindu kingdoms, is reviving Hinduism, the enlightened Hindu civilization, consisting of 10,000 unique traditions to its full glory, including traditions led by women such as the Shakta tradition. At the United Nations, the women of Kailasa first offered worship to the deities of Paramashiva and Parashakti. Parashakti, the divine feminine consciousness, is the consort of Paramashiva, the primordial Hindu divinity, and to the deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivoham, who graced the conference hall. The women of Kailasa took the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's blessings before commencing the 84th session of the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. The Kailasa delegation at the event included Her Excellency Ma Priya Nithyananda, the permanent ambassador of Kailasa to the United Nations, Ma Muktika Ananda, the head of Kailasa Los Angeles, Ma Sona Kamat, the head of Kailasa St. Louis, Ma Nitya Atmandayaki, the head of Kailasa UK, and Ma Nitya Venkateshananda, the head of Kailasa France, and head of Kailasa Slovenia, Ma Priya Prema Nithyananda. On February 22, 2023, the United Nations in Geneva became the site of a powerful call to action for the protection and empowerment of women across the world. Female parliamentarians gathered to discuss the troubling statistics surrounding gender-based violence and discrimination. Shockingly, 82% of women parliamentarians from 5 regions had experienced some form of psychological violence, including sexist or humiliating gestures, images and remarks, threats and mobbing. Furthermore, almost 44% of these women had received threats of death, rape, assault, or abduction towards themselves or their families. These numbers are staggering and demonstrate the urgent need for action to protect women's rights. Among the voices at the United Nations were the women representatives of Kailasa, who came to speak out against the persecution of Hindu women. They met with delegations from other countries as well as the Secretariat and Chair of the Committee to share the success of Kailasa and present Hindu holistic solutions to the problems facing the world. The Kailasa representatives also presented the preamble to the Kailasa Constitution, the Bhagavad Gita, to the dignitaries in attendance. The representatives of Kailasa made it clear that February 22, 2023 was a momentous occasion for the promotion of Hindu feminism, a philosophy grounded in Hinduism's unique veneration of Parashakti, the supreme feminine consciousness. This philosophy demonstrates the high regard and status accorded to women in Hinduism. In light of the alarming statistics surrounding gender-based violence and discrimination, it is imperative to preserve true empowerment, protection, and quality of life for women globally for generations to come. To achieve this, it is essential to revive the enlightened Hindu civilization of Kailasa and hold accountable those who persecute the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa and stop their actions. Despite the decade-long persecution, the time-tested principles of Hinduism revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and implemented in the United States of Kailasa have borne success, and Kailasa has taken the responsibility to give holistic solutions to the problems that the world is facing through Hindu governance, parliament, responsible democracy, and enlightened blissful living. The United States of Kailasa also recently contributed to the UN Geneva inputs on the achievement of sustainability, general comment on economic, social, and cultural rights and sustainable development. Whereas the economic, social, and cultural rights encompass essential human rights such as adequate food, housing, education, health, social security, cultural participation, water, sanitation, and work. The session focuses on the challenges of achieving sustainability while also ensuring respect, protection, and fulfillment of these human rights. Among the items addressed by Kailasa's permanent ambassador to the United Nations, Her Excellency Vijayapriya Nithyananda, was the obstacles to sustainable development, including the historical ethnocide and genocide of Hindus and the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivoham, head of state of Kailasa. In reviving the 10,000 unique traditions of 56 Hindu nations that once contributed over 40% of the world's GDP, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa have implemented treaties based on Hindu principles such as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Advaita, or oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated the 108 Shri Kailasa Uniting Nations initiatives aligned to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and uniting all nations globally. The United States of Kailasa has the right to free education, free food, free shelter, free clothing, and free medical care as its constitutional right in alignment with the injunctions of the ancient sacred Hindu scriptures. The Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam, the sacred festival for worshipping the feminine energy in divine cosmic form known as Shri Rajarajeshwari. Devi Rajarajeshwari is the ultimate ruling mother of our universe. She is known as the embodiment of Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Durga, the powerful demon-vanquishing form of the divine feminine. When all these forms of mother come together into one, they become Rajarajeshwari. Hindus celebrate the auspicious time of this Brahmotsavam when Devi Rajarajeshwari makes herself available for all to experience. This week, Kailasa also celebrates the Jayanti of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
राजाधिराजाय प्रसख्य साहिने नमो भजं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामां कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः।
the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, was rushed to the Jayadeva Hospital in Bengaluru, Karnataka. With staggered breath, the only words that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism managed to say were, "If I die, please give my body back to the devotees. I am a sannyasi. Last rites should be done as per sannyas custom." Even in the most personal crisis, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's only words were for his devotees.
Madam Chairperson, esteemed delegates and colleagues, I represent Kailasa Nation led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Shri Nithyananda Paramashivoham, which speaks on behalf of 2 billion Hindus around the world who do not have a voice representing them in these international forums.
With this, we thank you all for joining us for this quick look back on the past week with the United States of Kailasa, the first nation for all Hindus. We'll see you all next week. Nithyananda.
स्मरणस्तरसुष्वरनाद च मे हृदये शिव शिव शब्दनिनाद मृदङ्ग